Greetings and welcome to episode 274 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly video game news and culture discussion podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy Kate Alexander, joined this week by the only face you're going to see, Mr. Daffy Mooney. Hello.
The citizens of the dirty world. How is everyone been? Because it is Monday. You know what that means.
Yep.
You can see my face.
You can't see my
Like
face.
Amy's.
You can see my face. It's just really small and doesn't move. I don't understand why Discord, when you do this in this way, why it makes the avatar so fucking small.
It's like looking into the F1 boxes when you're watching F1 and they just show a little box of the overtake and you're like, I think I see the overtake.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure.
And there goes Leclerc going past, and it's just like, is he? Is he?
Getting the magnifying glass out. Yeah.
Hold on,
I think you got through.
Let me get closer to the screen.
Yeah. I think it. Yeah, I think you got through. Yeah.
So as Moody has seen the extensive cataloging of ripped out and moved literally everything in my room, and because of that, I'm not on camera this week.
She's not ready to share.
Oh yeah, I'm building up to some grand reveal.
Yeah.
Like everything's ready. The issue is, like, it's not finished, obviously, as Moody knows, but everything's ready to go. It's just, so I have to sit further back from the desk now, right?
Yes.
And, well, let me just demonstrate to you how far away that is from the desk that is sitting on the microphone that's sitting on the desk. And I've got a solution for that. Let me just pull myself back in. But I've got a microphone on, but I don't have the attachment to attach the microphone to the arm. So I need that. So what you'd actually be seeing if I turn my camera on is basically the top of my head. What do you mean?
Told you should have put your monitors that high.
Monitors are at the perfect height. I love it. It's great. I just need to sit back. It's awesome. I've been using it all weekend. I say all weekend. It's not been all weekend. I spent 9 hours doing this on Saturday.
I was going to say.
Looks amazing, though.
It did from what you showed me, so.
It's not even finished yet.
I know.
Got lights to go in, extra shelves.
Fireworks, sparklers in the background, the whole shebang, yeah.
Don't tempt me. I could take this to some wild places if I wanted to.
Wow thing. You make my heart sing.
And then on top of that,
I don't know the rest of the words.
And then on top of that, the rest of the words are, you make everything groovy.
Because you're a wild thing. Thing.
On top of that, we sat down to do the podcast, and for some unknown reason, Moody's sound quality on my end is not great. And it can't have been anything that happened. It can't have been an update. It can't have been the moving stuff around, because we were playing Among Us last night and you were fine. So I think Discord's just on one. Hopefully, we'll find out next week when we record some more reviews. Because I tried to fix the problem, and my audio mixer deleted itself.
For all we know, ladies and gentlemen, next week we might be in Google Hangouts, Skype, the whole shebang. We might just change it all up next week.
We finally just got Zoom, like everybody else.
Zoom it, baby. Zoom it.
We finally we couldn't fight the feature any longer.
Yeah.
And we used to do this podcast on Skype.
Yeah. I remember that long ago.
But,
galaxy far, far away.
Skype was really bad, just really, really bad.
I won't lie, I don't think it's got any better. That's why Microsoft tried to buy Discord.
Yeah. Oops, we fucked up Skype. What do we do?
Buy Discord.
Oh,
wait, they don't want to be bought. But wait, they'll allow Sony to buy shares. Yes, that's how crazy they are. But they're now a $10 billion company. Well, never mind.
Hey. the the wonders of technology never cease. How are you anyway?
I'm not bad. Not bad at all. Chilled. Watched my favourite F1 driver win a race today. Became imposter at long last in Among Us after like 2 goddamn weeks.
None of us streamed
fine.
it.
Neither of us streamed it. Neither did Ryan. I know.
I knew he wasn't going to stream it. I did warn you, but it's fine.
Nah, I couldn't be bothered to stream. I was like, nah.
Those things, what happened last night will live forever on in our memories. I'm just sorry that we missed the match where I was imposter for the 3rd time.
That was just mean.
It was. I said I was gonna. We were doing our thing, watching everyone leave the dropship, and you decided to just keep running backwards and forwards between us, and I just went, you know what? Whoopah! And then it's just that moment of me and Ryan staring at each other, like, so. What happens next? And then Ryan just walked away, and then I went on a fucking rampage. I was so close to just getting a clean sweep. It was ridiculous. And then I was still laughing at what I'd done to you. So when the 2 survivors were like, "Holy shit, there's 4 people dead!" Ha ha ha! It gave me the perfect cover to just laugh. But I wasn't laughing about that. I was laughing about karate chopping you in the face. Right in front of Ryan. Good times. I love Among Us.
Among Us is awesome.
It's been a year.
It has been a year.
It's been a year. How crazy is that? And we still get so much enjoyment out of it.
I know, that's crazy to think that. Well done to Among Us.
For me, I think... Sorry, go on. No, you go on.
We need to try the new map, like.
The problem is you need a lot of people for the new map.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and when you got people who want to go out and socialize and have lives and everything, it just doesn't.
I mean, okay, Phil and Erica, I totally get it. They are actually going out and socializing. But you say like have lives. It's like we lost 3 people last night to Warhammer.
I know.
It's like, is that really having a life situation? And I'm joking. I play D&D on the regular.
And I'm not. I don't play D&D.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I'm looking into getting some dice. I've actually looked into it. I've got saved under my Amazon account.
No. We have to go out. Like, I want to be there when you buy your first dice. I was like, my friend Amy.
I will wait. I
took Amy out when we went shopping a few weeks ago, and she bought her first dice at Traveling Man. I love being there when people buy their first dice. It's great.
Cool. I will not buy any dice. I will sort out. We're sorting out anyway, meeting up anyway. So, and when we do that, we'll dice it up.
I'll buy it. We'll get you some dice, and then you'll be one of us. You can see what all the crack is, all the fuss is about playing D&D.
One of us.
One of us. Don't blame me if you get addicted to it though, because it's a lot of fun.
No, I'm going to blame Life is Strange True
Colors. Blame Life is Strange. Yeah, it's Life is Strange True Colors as well.
Yeah, I'm going to blame that bloody game. They have an episode which is literally all about a laugh, and it was incredibly fun.
God, I wish I could play Life is Strange True Colors. But I've been doing this since I was 15. Those were the days. It's not like now you squeeze in a few hours on a night when everybody's free. When I used to play D&D when I was 15, I used to go around Keith's house, and it used to be me, him, and Russ, and literally it would be like all Saturday. The entire day. We get there like 10, 11 o'clock. We'd leave like 7, 8 o'clock. We'd buy pizzas, Moody.
Pizza? I like pizza.
It was a whole thing.
I sent you a picture of a pizza.
back in the olden days when we used to do these things in person and not on Discord. We used to play games together.
Oh my goodness. The good old days.
Good old days.
When we were a lot younger. When we were younger, Amy.
When we were still planning charity streams of like...
Yeah. And I didn't have a beard.
Yeah.
Or a mustache.
Oh, hey. Should we get into the podcast?
I like just talking about random shit, so I
We
don't.
I've been saying for ages intermittently, we should just have a podcast where we just chat fucking bollocks for like half an hour to an hour and just put it up every like month or something.
The Chat Bollocks podcast.
The Chat Bollocks podcast. I can't get away with calling it that, but you know, we could come up with something close to that. And like we just sit down for an hour after after we've done a podcast or after we've done some reviews or something. We just chat.
We do that anyway.
Yeah, but we could do that. We I just tried to get into the podcast and you just stopped me. So
yeah. That's the thing about we do that anyway.
So we could do it in an actual podcast instead of in the podcast everybody supposedly comes to for gaming news. It's been 12 minutes and we've been talking about dice and D&D.
Yeah.
So we should do that. We'll talk. Can I start the podcast now?
Well, you've already started the podcast.
I will fucking come to that house that you call a home, and I will fucking smash that TV off you.
TV alone. It's done nothing to you.
No, but you have.
I've had that longer, and I've had my partner.
All right, I'm starting. There's timestamps in the description below the video on YouTube, so you
might want to use them.
You might want to fucking use them, although that warning came way too late. You can also get them wherever you get this listening to your podcasts, because we're also up on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and a few others I haven't heard of. That's it. That's the whole rigmarole in the intro. Like, I don't like these podcasts that do like, and now we're going to do the rigmarole at the start, and then it's like 5 minutes of waffle about. And you can get us here, and you can get us there, and you can go here and do this, and this week we're doing this. It's just like, no, you just want to get, I mean, ironic coming from me, but it's like, I just want to get on with it. You know where you can find us, because you're already here. Just saying. Should we talk about Nintendo Direct?
Oh, we can.
Well, we can. Oh, we can. Thanks. Finally, I have permission. I put everything. So, like, I got everything. Shout out to Imran Khan over at Fanbyte. Like, most places don't do the thing where they just have a post and it's like, here's everything that happened, which is super helpful. Most of the places don't do that.
Man anyway, the man is awesome. So let's just shout him out anyway.
Yeah, shout him out. He's great. But he also wrote another story that we're going to cover later with the best headline I've ever seen. And a new story in 2021. But yeah, so we put all this together. I've highlighted the things that I want to talk about, because I don't want to talk about everything that happened, because I have no opinion. I have no opinion on it. I have a great opinion on the Hollow Knight's disappearance, but it's not that strong an opinion because there's so many good games, and I kind of like not having Hollow Knight on top of that. Plus, there's always still a chance it could come out later this year. You never know.
That is true. That's true.
So should we talk about the only thing I can really remember with any great clarity from the Nintendo Direct?
It's the only thing that anybody was talking about, and it's the only, I was like, I wasn't going to watch this, and I still haven't watched it, so I'm literally just going off what you're going to talk about here. But the only thing you literally sent me when I woke up in the morning was literally, this is the cast of the Mario movie, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked online, and I was like, oh shit, they've unleashed the demon fire. The Balrog is coming for them.
So for those that don't know, somehow, if you've managed to miss this entirely, yeah, so the Super Mario movie, it's being made by Illumination, which is the same studio that did Despicable Me.
And the Minions.
And the Minions. Why? I didn't want to remember that. Why did you make me remember that?
There's another one on the way, so.
Ugh. Maybe this is why I never used to go to the cinema anymore. But anyway, December 21st, 2022 is the US release date. Apparently, the other release dates for other regions will follow. The cast of the Super Mario movie. I'm gonna lie, Moody. I lost my mind watching this.
What I've seen a lot of people do.
The cast. So, Chris Pratt will voice Mario, who, according to Miyamoto, will be talking a lot. Anya Taylor-Joy will be Princess Peach.
She is fabulous.
She is amazing. Like, Charlie Day will be Luigi.
He is literally the worst.
Jack Black will be Bowser.
That's really funny to me.
Wario's right there. Like, if you're going to cast Jack Black in a Mario film, surely you cast him as what? Never mind. Keegan-Michael Kay will be Toad. And Seth Rogen will be Donkey Kong. Charles Martinet, Mario's video game voice, will be in the movie in surprise cameos. So, like, I get what you said to me. That wasn't it. Like, so we obviously DM'd about this for a bit, and as you pointed out, they were never going to use Charles Martinet for Mario, and I get that. I got that before they even announced this cast list. It's the cast list itself that caused my brain to implode in on itself like a dying star, and forget the rest of the Nintendo Direct until Mommy turned up.
Yeah, I can understand that. There's no doubt about that. When you literally think Mario, you're not going to picture Chris Pratt. When you picture Princess Peaches, you're not going to think of Anya Taylor-Joy or anyone or any of the cast that they have here. It is understandable. No one's going to picture this until we actually see a trailer. Which I think, if they wanted to mitigate any damage, they should have thrown out like a little teaser of something showing them talking or something like that. And then they might have been able to mitigate some of this little internet talk right now, should I say? Because I think right now everyone like is laughing their butts off.
I mean,
and they're like,
yeah,
because they can't. I think it's also because they can't picture it, and that's what's hurting it right now. I can't picture Seth Rogen being Donkey Kong at all. It just doesn't doesn't look right. But I love Seth Rogen. I think he's an amazing actor, and I think he's funny as hell. And I think he'd be great at it at the same time.
I like Tenacious D, I love Keegan-Michael Kay. I love Seth Rogen. I like Charlie Day. I worship Anya Taylor-Joy. Like, the issue isn't the cast, right? Like, itself, apart from Chris Pratt as Mario, which, holy shit. Like,
but
it's
they
just
said
like...
I'm not going to lie, everyone literally questioned Chris Pratt when they found out he was going to be Star-Lord in a Marvel movie. Because they literally thought, wait, the fat guy from whatever show he was on? And I was just like...
Well, I mean, setting aside the fact that I just do not like Chris Pratt anyway. Chris Pratt as Star-Lord made a lot of sense. I mean, I get quote unquote people. I don't know. I'm not connected to the Marvel discourse, so I don't know what people were saying. But like Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, like give him his dues. He's a good Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what direction is this. Like, I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Like, what kind of movie is this going to be? Like, with this cast, Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Seth Rogen, and Keegan-Michael Kay are all comedians, but, like, of a very specific type of comedy.
Yeah.
And it's not a kind of type of comedy that I would associate with Mario. I'm trying to wrap my head around what kind of film they're making.
That's the thing about, like I said, they haven't shown anything, so it's like everyone's talking crap about it right now, which is understandable. Like I said, until you see it, you're not really sure, and it's like the same type of thing like when it happened with the Sonic movie. Like, I don't mean about the visual about Sonic. Yes, that had its own discourse in itself, but like people who were disappointed, like the Sonic voice was not Sonic, but everyone shut up when they actually saw the movie because the guy did a really good job in the Sonic performance. So
definitely,
until we see it, we can't really. It's unfair to judge it, but like the eyebrows are raised when you look at the cast. It's like, really.
What this reminds me of isn't the Sonic voice, because that was fine. It's. Do you remember when they released the first Sonic trailer? The very first design of Sonic, when he had teeth for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this reminds me of, where it's just like, what did you do? What did you do?
Yeah.
I hate it. Thanks. That GIF I get a lot of use of. Thanks, I hate it.
No, until we see it, I think it's unfair to judge it personally. Like, yeah, like when you until they release a teaser trailer or a trailer for it, should I say, which I'm guessing if it's what did you say the movie's next year? Did you say
December 2022.
not December 2022? So we may get a teaser trailer at the end of this year. When it comes to animation features, like they like to show a trailer really early when it comes to this. So we might get something at the end of this year, at the end closing of the year. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like I'm not on board. Is everything all right? You looked very concerned when you looked across there. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm not on board for the movie. Like, I'm not on board for anything really Chris Pratt does at the moment. So, like, I'm not really, and I was never really that bothered about watching a Super Mario movie anyway. But like, I'm just reacting to the information I have, and the information I have is Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is going to be Luigi. Seth Rogen's going to be Donkey Kong. I got no problem with either of those people.
That's the thing about Charles Day is the one that, out of all of them, Charles Day is the one that doesn't land for me. He's just not a good actor, I don't think. I don't think he's a funny person. So that it doesn't make sense when it comes to this, but it's also, we don't know what type of movie it is. Like, they've thrown in a lot of comedic talent here, apart from Charlie Day,
but like,
to do this type of movie. So it's going to be interesting what they're going for here.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Are they going for something like the Lego movie or the Minions or something
oh
like
God,
that? You've got
it's going to be like the Minions.
That's the thing about it. You've got Illumination doing it, but the only thing I can think of is that Nintendo wouldn't have okayed the movie if they weren't happy with the script, because they know they got burned last time they did.
I was literally about to say, you've seen the last one, right?
Yeah, well, they got seriously burnt by that. And so they've never allowed any of their property to become a film or a show or anything like at this moment in time.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. So, like part of my reaction is just my own. It's my own biases. Like Nintendo flashed a picture of Chris Pratt in front of my face, I was never going to react positively to that. So
I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that. So I
don't. He's a member of a church that's like massively anti-LGBTQ. Elliot Page called him out for it a while ago. So. Was a thing.
I didn't know that, so I can't comment on
it. Yeah. So I've never really been bothered about like I've never really liked the guy since then. But hey ho, that's a me thing, I guess.
This is information I've just found out. So
no, I'm just saying. Like I think I'm putting it out there as like, because in case people didn't know, which I guess you didn't know, it's like part of my reaction. I think to see Chris Pratt as Mario is just like, oh really, Chris Pratt. But yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, my confusion. This is me working through it. I've not talked about it with anybody until now. So like, this is just me working through my confusion. I'll tell you what though, I wish we had streamed. This is, like I said to you, this is the one thing, the one show I wish we'd streamed, because I think my reactions would have been priceless on stream. But you're just sitting there going, it could be good, you don't know, and I'm just like hyperventilating in the corner or something. Look, Amy, video games, and I'm just like,
The one thing I like from myself is like, people. I always try and keep an open mind, like to it. Like I've taken the whole thing, what you just told me about Chris Pratt and everything like that. I try and keep an open mind, just thinking, yeah, they're going for something. They've made a decision. For all we know, it could be awesome. That's why I kind of defended the Sonic look when it first came out. I was thinking, yo, it doesn't look great. I don't deny that. But at the same time, they're going for it. They're going a different direction because that's what they want to do. Wait until you see the whole movie. But because of all the craziness backlash when it came to that, they changed it and everything like that, which I did not agree with when it came to.
Yeah, they changed it. They probably should have focus tested it first.
Oh,
that's the whole other thing. Sorry, Katie Bench just liked my tweet about the dance moves on Twitter and replied. So I was like, "Ooh, hello, senpai knows me." Should we talk about video games?
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, I had a meltdown Twitter as a whole had him held down, I think, when the casting news came out. A really funny one. Like, the memes are top quality. Like, I've gotta hand it to the meme crafters. But like, I was finally snapped back to reality by Bayonetta, which exists. Finally,
we've known it's existed.
Like, have we though? Like, it turned up 4 years ago at the Game Awards, and I don't know. I started to think I hallucinated it personally.
Bayonetta is one of the biggest franchises on Nintendo and everything, and so this is fantastic for all the people who are Bayonetta fans. I've never touched the franchise because I've never really had a Nintendo around to play them at the time. Like, I think she basically properly blew up on the scene with the Wii U, if I remember rightly. So I never had a Wii U.
Bayonetta's had an unfortunate history of the first one came out was multi-platform. It's on Xbox and PlayStation, and like it didn't land for reasons like the other stuff came out, like it didn't have a marketing push. Became a cult classic. Nintendo greenlit a sequel. Everyone lost their now that I remember, everyone lost their minds about that because the original wasn't on a Nintendo, and then it was like, well, the second one was a Nintendo Wii U exclusive, and I remember there was like a backlash where everyone was like, "Oh, how come it's not on the platforms where they go?" Because Nintendo's paying for it. Like, sorry, I'm having a flashback. So then the second one came out on the Wii U, and the unfortunate problem with that is it came out on the Wii U, which sold about 7 copies, so like 7 units. So its chances of becoming a massive success were limited, but it was very, very well received. And now Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
Is almost here. Mommy's back.
I won't lie. When I heard it had a release date, I was thinking, don't you dare say 2021. Don't you dare say 2021, because I just got rid of it on my fantasy critics. And I was like, don't you dare say 2020 fucking one.
To be fair, I was having the same thoughts, but mostly because I was like, I've already got too much to play. Don't you dare bring out Bayonetta 3. 2021.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the second one was my game of the year in 2014, so.
Oh, that's fantastic! So you're obviously excited for this one for when it comes
Massively,
out.
Yeah.
When it comes out in 2022, the year of the death of our wallets and us in general.
Like my wallet, whatever, is going to take a beating. But like, I'm not looking forward to that game of the year discussion.
Oh God, no. Yeah. I'm staying right out. I'm just gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it when like a truck's going past me.
Mine will just be like, okay, so here's my top 47. And I'll be like, wait, did you just say top 47? And I want you to know all of these games are equal to each other. So they're all game of the year because I couldn't decide between them.
Yes.
It looked really good. There was a fun fake out where they had the dog character from Astral Chain. So it was like, oh, it's Astral Chain. Fuck, because everybody thought, oh, it's Bayonetta. No, it's Astral Chain. No, it really is Bayonetta. It looks pretty cool. The guy, the guy who was directing Scalebound is directing this as well.
RRP Scalebound.
Rip, you were too beautiful for this world. But
Xbox are like, we need quadruple A games, not triple A games.
Don't be started on that.
We'll talk about that shortly.
Fuck. This looked really cool. Like, we didn't really see much gameplay, but it's Bayonetta. Like, there's a whole thing with like kaiju battles in it now. When Bayonetta took over like a kaiju and beat the shit out. So I think like this might have a few Scalebound influences.
So she's teaming up with Godzilla now,
Yeah, I guess. But looks cool. I'm super excited. I don't know if my heart is gonna survive 2022. Like the hype.
I won't lie. Like the first 3 months is just disgusting. Like a game for you, a game for this week, a game for the next week, a game the week after. Stop it.
Just quit my job so I can play video games.
Basically, yeah.
There's a Nintendo Switch Online update as well.
Yes.
Coming in October, which is cool, but also a bit weird. It's exactly a Nintendo thing, though. So they're adding some N64 games and some Sega Genesis games, or Mega Drive if you're cool, to the Nintendo Switch Online subscription, but it's at a premium membership plan. So it's like an upgraded membership plan. So you have to upgrade your membership plan. You'll get the N64 games and the Mega Drive games. They're releasing. We'll find out. It's coming out in October, and we'll find out more about the price later. And they're releasing 2 wireless controllers, a Mega Drive controller and an N64 controller. The N64 controller has extra buttons on it. The Mega Drive controller, so in Japan they're releasing the 6-button version of the Mega Drive controller, but everywhere else is only getting the 3-button version.
Of course it is.
Because this is Nintendo.
Of course they are. Nintendo, man. They're bonkers, man.
You only just figured out Bluetooth.
Yes, they have. And just figured out to put an Ethernet port in the console.
Aye. It's a sore subject.
This was something that was always going to happen.
Yeah, we knew N64 games. Like, I think it was a Keith prediction last year. So it's like, we've known this was coming for a while.
I think I predicted it for this year, I think. Or
Maybe.
Something like...
I've got a master list.
I think it's something similar to it. Yeah, but... Yeah, it's... This is coming. We all know the rest are coming as well. Like, just to, like, it's... I'm surprised they haven't put this on earlier or something like that, but obviously I'm guessing it's a lot of legalities and legal stuff and all like that they need to sort out maybe.
I think they just wanted it as close to the release day as they could get away with it, to be honest.
Probably. No doubt about it. But if you like the classics and they bring out some classic games for you, they're all right there. They're going to be there for you, ladies and gentlemen.
I was fine, Rudy. I saw that they showed me the games, the N64 games. They showed me the Mega Drive games. And I was like, cool, I don't need that in my life. That's totally fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. These games are fucking brilliant. Like, made, like, truly, like, class games. But I was just like, I don't really need to replay any of them. And then they were like, but we'll be releasing more games in the future. And the first one that fucking came up, Majora's Mask. And I was like, you bastards!
Of course they did. And this is the thing about this. This is the thing what's going to happen to me when they release the Game Boy games, like for the Pokemon, just for Pokemon alone, blue, yellow, red, and all like that, and then going gold. I'll be like, my wallet, god damn you!
I gotta get Majora's Mask. I was like, fuck. It's like the curl of the monkey's paw. I've been asking for ages to be able to play Majora's Mask on my Switch and to finally get it. And it's like at the worst possible moment where it's like all the other games are coming out, but. Shit.
Yep.
Shit.
Yep.
Shit. How much do you think it's gonna cost? Like extra.
Yeah.
So it's
extra.
like 20 quid a year, so like an extra 10 a year.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think something like that, yeah. And I think they'll knock it up another tenner when they release the other Game Boy games.
How far do you think they're gonna go? Like,
as long as far as they want.
Like, no, I mean, like, in terms of, like, are they gonna bring it all the way up to the, like, Wii?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Finally get Wii Sports.
Wii was incredibly successful with them, so there's no doubt about it. You're going to get the Wii games. I think that's a guarantee in the future.
I don't think they'll do the Wii U because they remastered most of those games at this point.
Yeah, pretty much the main games that were successful on that
console, the games that would have done really well if the Wii U had have sold really well. Like, they would have, like, they've already brought out, right? Like, Treasure Tracker, 3D World.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna tackle
even things like Project Zero, or Fatal Frame, depending on where you live, is, like, been re-released now. It's like, wow. Yep. They're even talking about doing Star Fox Zero, the worst game on Wii U.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna
fucking hate that game.
Like, we all know, like, we praise Sony for its library, but Nintendo have arguably the greatest library out there. And to know that this is clearly what they're aiming for, and that they got the Genesis as well, like the Mega Drives.
Yeah,
like,
that was cool.
That's insane to think that. Like, I just literally, like, last year, I literally listened on Audible the console walk.
It's a great book. Yeah,
it's fantastic. And just to think that, I was thinking how quick it changed really fast. And like, I did a lot of research on certain elements of it as well for college. And to see that, I was like, wow, Nintendo, you really did win, didn't you? You won so much, you've got their games on your console in the future. How crazy is that, man? I think it's bonkers to think that, but
that's how it be sometimes.
We beat you. Now you join us.
That's cool. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games was the big one for
Oh,
me.
that was amazing. Yeah.
Both
That
characters on the cover of a game
Yeah.
box. It was just like, wow.
The thing is, that first game was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I never played it. It was like, it was just that image of them both being on the same game cover. Just like, shit. We really live in the future. But
Yep.
like, what excites me about the Mega Drive games isn't necessarily the Mega Drive games themselves, but like the possibility that like we could also like in the future get like if they start going through that the Sega stuff, we could start getting like Saturn games, Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
I might
there's a
finally get
potential.
Dragon Force. It's an amazing Saturn game that like 17
one
people played in the West because
Sounds
it was
about
big in
right when
Japan.
Yeah, sounds about right. If it
Yeah.
was big in Japan, that's a guarantee that's coming.
Yeah, there was a sequel and everything in Japan. Keith had it because Keith had a Saturn. And it was like the game. We went around his house and played Dragon Force. It's fucking great. If they do that, they just get all the money. Just start throwing it at them. All right, what else was there? There was Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is a 3D platformer, releasing in spring 2022. This leaked just before the direct.
Of course.
Nintendo leaked it themselves by accident.
They've done that a few times now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done
Nintendo?
this a couple of times now.
I think
Everyone
they
started
do it
getting mad
on
about
purpose now.
spoilers, and it was just like Nintendo did it.
Do you think they're doing it on purpose? You gotta think they do.
Maybe, I don't know. Like the thing, it's weird because you would think like, okay, yeah, so maybe they leaked it on purpose to like build hype for the direct, but it's a Nintendo direct. It's already got all the hype it needs.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I don't know. But this looks kind of cool. It's big. Looks open. Open world? Probably not open world. Looks like Super Mario Odyssey, but like with Kirby.
Kirby always does well for them in
Yeah.
whatever aspect of gameplay they want to make for them. So, yeah, a new one on the way. It'll sell well. The Nintendo fans come screaming when it comes to an exclusive when it comes to them. So they always do well for them, especially when it comes to a classic character. So spring 2022.
Spring 2022.
2022 could be a cracking year for Nintendo. Like they had a cracking year last year with just one game, but that basically sustained them all last year.
It's weird to think like Nintendo had a pretty dry year in terms of new releases last year. Like, but they also had like the biggest new game release ever, like in Animal Crossing. So it was like it wasn't a bad year, but like they barely released any games last year.
Like when this year, like I think we've had a quiet year. Yes, we're going to be talking about one game that in a minute that's done incredibly well for them, and like both you and me really enjoyed the game, and everything. But they're like still like nothing huge yet has come out. Obviously, Zelda's next year. This Pokemon coming out this year, but it's remakes which people are very mixed on. I was thinking, it's a Pokemon game. We know it's going to sell incredibly well.
It's going to sell really well, but that's like it's like setting the stage for the new Pokemon game.
Arceus, yeah, or Arceus
like
or whatever.
A
it's
month
called.
and a bit later.
Yeah, so it's bonkers. Like they are preparing themselves to. It's going to be a fight next year between all three of them.
Bloodbath.
Who has the best game? Because arguably you're thinking possibly next year from Sony, Horizon and God of War, possibly.
Horizon,
Nintendo, Zelda, Pokemon, Arceus, and whatever else they've got underneath their skin.
A new Mario.
Possibly, yeah.
I think 3. It's been 4 years since Odyssey.
I think they'll show it, but I don't think it'll come out until 2022.
They usually have a direct either at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year where they're like, here's some stuff for 2022.
Yeah.
So
it's exciting.
I think if they've got it, they'll tease it. And Breath of the Wild 2 might even come out next year.
whatever that name is, whatever they're calling it.
Majora's Breath of the Majora's Mask Wild. I don't know.
The Breath of Majora's Mask.
Pretend I said something. Pretend I made a clever Majora's Mask pun. Right, so we got some smaller stuff as well. There was loads of stuff, but I don't want to dive too deeply into most of it. Um, Voice of Cards, The Isle of Dragon Rose, which is a great name for a game. It's a new card game from Square Enix. It's being directed by Yoko Taro, the creator of Nier. The music is by the Nier composer Kiichi Okabe, and it comes out on October 28th. Yeah.
I know you are Nier. You
know
are
me.
Nier. You are a Nier fangirl, Amy. So you are
Big
like,
style.
oh yes,
Yoko
give me this
Taro
now.
is making a game. I'm already there.
You're like, just stick it in my veins. Get it done already.
I'm already outside the shop, like pressed against the window, just like, is it out yet? Is it out yet? No, I love Nier. I love Yoko Taro as well, so I'm really, really excited. Like, I couldn't believe the release date was that soon when I saw it pop up on the screen. So I'm super excited for that. Disco Elysium, the final cut, is coming to Switch on October 12th. And there'll be a physical version in early 2022. This is just my PSA whenever Disco Elysium comes up to say, if you haven't bought it and played it, get it. It's one of the best RPGs I've ever played. Like, I love it so much. And the final cut added voice acting.
Yeah, I haven't got around to it yet. I really probably should have done it.
That's fair because of everything happening around us. But like, it's such a fucking amazing game. Like, I was digging through my EGX merch because I found bags and stuff while I was renovating my room, and I found it's behind me. You'll be able to see it when I've got the camera on. I found a postcard I got from EGX 20 something 15, 16, where I played Disco Elysium. It was called No Truce with the Furies at the time. Because it had a different name, and I played the demo of it, and I was just like, I was laughing, and there was someone, I told the story on Twitter, the booth next door to Disco Elysium, I'm using air quotes, was Sunless Skies, and there was someone trying to do an interview with a dev for Sunless Skies just behind me, and I kept getting dirty looks because I was laughing so hard at Disco Elysium. They could hear me in the interview they were doing. I was just like, I'm not sorry. This game is amazing.
Yeah, you should be allowed to enjoy it. Stop, man. Jesus.
Yeah, it's such a good demo. Like, I came back and I did a thing with Keith where I was talking about EGX, and he was just like, I was just fucking raving about this game, and then I got it, and it was like, it swept the Game Awards, man. It was one of the best games of 2019. Like, I was so happy.
No one heard of it until the video into the Game Awards. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, big style. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, Disco Elysium went from like a thing a few people had heard, like being heard of, to like it came out, and it became this thing where if you had played it, it was like your favorite game of the year. But like, not many people had played it to get into the Game Awards, and it just won like 4 awards. And then everyone was like, oh, maybe I should check this Disco Elysium game out. Everybody seems to like so much. And there was people like me sitting on Twitter going, yeah, you should.
Just like, dude.
No shit. Put Star Wars down for a minute. Check out this game.
Yeah, Star Wars was only okay that year, so.
I enjoyed that year quite a bit, but 2019 was a weird year. I can definitely like agree with that.
Yeah.
What else we got? Dying Light 2 is getting a cloud version, which I thought was interesting. So like, Dying Light 2 is coming to Switch, and it came up on the thing, and I was like, how is the Switch going to run Dying Light 2? Oh, it's a cloud version.
Pretty much.
So that's cool. Like, they can bring whatever they want out, and I know they've done it before. Like Hitman 3 came out on Switch, didn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Which is like a cloud version. It's just cool that like Nintendo has found a way to like bridge that gap where like the thing was with the Switch was it like, or Nintendo hardware in general was, the first parties are great, but you can't really get the third party support, and now it's like maybe you can get the third party support now. You can get the big AAA third party games.
Hopefully.
The last thing I highlighted on here, Triangle Strategy, which appears to no longer be a project name and is now just the actual name. It's gotten a number of changes after the demo from February. The game releases on March 4th, 2022. Everybody got so distracted by Chris Pratt as Mario that we all forgot to make fun of again the fact that they just decided to say fuck it and called the game Triangle Strategy. Which is
Sounds
a name.
about right. About right indeed.
Triangle Strategy. What a name.
Oh.
I envisaged the musical instrument. Triangle Strategy. Bing. Bing. Oh, hey. Well, it was cool that like they went through all the changes they made based on feedback from the demo, and I was like, that's really cool. Like they've put the demo out. They've got a lot of feedback about things like difficulty, and load times, and there was a few other things they mentioned, and they've gone cool. Like we saw your feedback, and now we've changed it. Have fun. In March.
And they obviously said, yeah, we like the name Triangle Strategy, so keep it, guys.
Why not? It's going to stand out. That's all I can say. No one's going to see... If someone's browsing through a list of new releases and they see a thing called Triangle Strategy, I mean, I'm clicking on that. I'm like, what the fuck is Triangle Strategy? I have to know.
A name is arguably one of the most important things when it comes to an IP, because that's the one thing people are going to see first.
Yep.
So, and if you don't nail the name, if the name comes out and it says Ballsack 92, no one's going to go, what the hell?
It's like, I remember years and years ago, there was like an indie game that came out that had like made a minor impact on like everyone who like covered games, because it was called Shower with Your Dad Simulator. And everyone was like, what the fuck? But that got a lot of us to check it out. Just purely based on the WTF-ness of the fact that there was a game called Shower with Your Dad Simulator. So yeah, a name can like, you put a name out there that's just so far out there that so many people are just gonna like go, what the hell is this, and click it. I own that game, Moody. I played it.
I bet you did.
It's not that bad as a video game. Very tongue in cheek. So that was everything that stuck out to me at the Nintendo Direct. I don't know if there's anything else you wanna like look at the list and see if there's anything else that catches your eye. Like there was Mario Party stuff. There's a new expansion for Monster Hunter.
No, nothing really.
The original Knights of the Old Republic is coming out on November 11th.
I was surprised that it wasn't already on Switch. So
yeah, me too.
that's
Actually,
cool.
but
That's kind of cool.
I love how everyone just forgets there's a sequel. The sequel has been forgotten.
Because Sith Lords is actually really good. I know it's not as good as the first one. I can appreciate that, but the sequel is good. The combat is actually better. It's smooth.
Yeah.
And you can wear a cloak. You couldn't in the original. It makes no sense to me.
It's one of those things where it's like the first one was just such a huge, massive thing that it's just kind of accidentally like erased knowledge of the sequel.
It has. Because it was like out within like a year, wasn't it? So
it was pretty quick because Obsidian made it. BioWare didn't make it. BioWare went off to make Mass Effect.
yeah, but we're like, we're done. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we wanna make our own version of Star Wars with guns. And I mean, can't exactly say that was the wrong decision.
That's true. That's why they're going back to it.
Yep. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's talk about some video games.
Let's talk about more video games.
Talk about Xbox.
This one perplexes me.
Talk.
I don't know if enough of this Nintendo. What is this, a Nintendo podcast? You two never talk about Nintendo.
We never actually do it.
We never really talk about Nintendo. All right, let's move on. The Initiative teams up with Crystal Dynamics for Perfect Dark. This is from John Carson over at Game Informer. He writes, The Initiative, Microsoft studio developing the new Perfect Dark, has announced a new partnership with another big studio outside its parent company's umbrella. In a tweet this evening, whenever this was published, it was revealed that the Initiative has enlisted the services of Crystal Dynamics to work on this new iteration of the classic Rare shooter. Quote, Perfect Dark update. We are partnering with Crystal Dynamics, the world-class team behind character-driven games such as Tomb Raider, to bring this first-person spy. Decided not to mention Avengers then. To bring this first-person spy thriller to a new generation. End quote. Why the initiative has brought Crystal Dynamics on board to help with developing Perfect Dark is unknown outside of this brief statement in a second tweet saying, quote, the teams couldn't pass up a chance to work together. We're still early in development, but incredibly excited to use this unique opportunity to deliver on the vision for Perfect Dark, end quote. Crystal Dynamics is best known in recent years for its successful reboot of the Tomb Raider franchise, bringing a grittier, survivalist feel to Lara Croft and her adventures. Of course, Crystal Dynamics also released last year's Marvel's Avengers, which continues to receive free updates like the recent War for Wakanda expansion.
They mentioned it. There we go. Well,
I mean, Game Informer mentioned it.
Yeah.
The initiative decided not to.
Okay, isn't the Initiative the brand new studio that they created?
Yeah.
Where they were splitting out quadruple A.
If you say
games.
quadruple A, I swear to God.
I just did.
I'm banned.
That's what they were saying, wasn't it? That's what they were saying, yes?
Fucking, yes, that's what they said.
So this is a bit of a head scratcher to the part of thinking, wait, you have to team up to do this type of thing now?
I
don't know.
It's
like,
a new
it
studio.
Is a bit of
like, maybe they just needed extra help because there's not as many people working there. I don't know. Like, I've seen a lot of people... Sorry, I rubbed my mouth as I was talking there. I don't know why I did that. I'm a professional podcaster, like 274 episodes in. I'm still doing stupid shit like covering my mouth. Like, I've seen the response to this on Twitter. A lot of people are like declaring apocalypse. Like, this is terrible news that like they're, oh my God, how could they be asking for help? It's like, isn't it a good sign that they're asking for help because they clearly need it? They've gotten an incredible studio of very talented people and now come and help them make Perfect Dark really, really good. Maybe Microsoft just wants it out faster.
That's the thing, yeah. Maybe they are wanting it out faster. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of right now. But obviously, we don't know the situation or anything like that. So until Phil Spencer wants to talk about it or someone wants to talk about it, we don't really fully know or understand what's going on here. Take away from what I said, like from the Joker thing at the beginning of like quadruple A and everything, like, yo, I'm excited to see what Initiative is going to be doing. And if Crystal Dynamics, those first two Lara Croft games are incredible. Third one I didn't click with, just personally, I just didn't click with Lara as a character there for some reason.
Didn't someone else make that one?
Yes, they did. Yeah, so that's maybe why I didn't like her. I did not like her in the third game.
Crystal Dynamics, like the Tomb Raider reboot games were incredible. Like the ones that they made,
were amazing. Yeah,
but like they made Tomb Raider games before that. They made like 3: Anniversary, Underworld, and Legacy. Those games were also really fucking good. Like I was a fan of those, and I say that as someone who fell off of Tomb Raider when it went through its period of being shit. But like Crystal Dynamics really like turned it around for Tomb Raider. So like they made a lot of good Tomb Raider games. I just looked at the initiative, and the head of the studio is Daryl Gallagher, who previously served as studio head of Crystal Dynamics.
There it is. We also got to remember, like, that Xbox do have a good relationship with Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, the second Tomb Raider game in the reboot series was exclusive to Xbox for a year.
Yeah, for a year. So yeah, they have a good relationship with them. So this is not surprising, especially as what you've just said. The CEO was formerly Crystal Dynamics. So
one of the other people who works there is Daniel Neuberger, who was directed Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
So Perfect Dark, the Tomb Raider game, just Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark, like, ironically, considering the situation with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Perfect Dark kind of looks like it might be a Deus Ex type game. So,
and that Crystal Dynamics did do them?
That was the other. That was the studio who did the third Tomb Raider game.
I knew you were going to say that. So they got the wrong bloody studio.
It's like, you got the wrong studio, guy. You needed Montreal.
Yeah. there's no bad thing about this whatsoever. If they need a little bit extra help, it's not going to hurt that. Crystal Dynamics are a great developer. Yes, I know Avengers is a bit mixed right now for a lot of people, but they are a proven developer to throw out some great, incredible games.
Look,
so
if you,
nothing wrong with this.
I know I laughed about it. I'm not mentioning it in the tweet, but it's like, okay, like Avengers wasn't great and continues to flounder. I think it's fair to say. Like that doesn't make Crystal Dynamics a bad studio. Like, how many studios have we seen try to make a live service game fail, but who have made like brilliant games before that and will probably make brilliant games after it? We've seen it happen tons of times because like live service games are an entirely different type of thing. Like you can't just make an RPG but chuck it online, and that's what a lot of studios I think try to do.
Yeah, agreed. There's nothing wrong with asking for help.
And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Like, even in the worst case scenario, like the initiative of getting Crystal Dynamics to help out with Perfect Dark, because Perfect Dark's a train wreck right now. Good.
Possibly, yeah.
Good. Because that means they asked for help, and then getting it in the form of an incredibly talented studio that has a proven track record of making fantastic games.
Hell yeah.
Why is this bad?
Yeah. Would you prefer for them to show the game and then complain about it like you did with the Halo Infinite footage?
Yeah, or just like...
And that gets delayed a year and everything. So,
or even just like soldier on, but continuing with the hypothetical train wreck that is Perfect Dark, and then just releasing a shit game.
Yeah. I can understand where people's worries are to a certain point, but like I said, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. So I implore anyone, ask for help.
Yeah,
it's nothing wrong. You're not soft or anything like that for asking for help or weak. Getting a little extra people in there.
No, it's good. It's good. Sure, it might not necessarily bode well for the state the game is in right this very minute, but guess what? I don't have to play it right now. I'll play it when they release it. So,
and don't worry. Like, what
I'm
is
not
it?
worried.
Microsoft...
And why would I be worried about it? And who's worried about it, right? Like, even if Perfect Dark is bad, like, what does it matter in the grand scheme of things?
That's the thing about it. Like, Microsoft have got what, 24, 23?
They've got a fucking ridiculous amount of studios working on like double the number of games. Like,
like every studio is basically working on 2 games.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe this is the Initiative is doing 2 games as well, and Perfect Dark is the only one that's been announced. But Initiative are wanting to concentrate on the other one as well. So maybe Crystal Dynamics will come in to help, like it says, to help chug along with Perfect Dark, as while Initiative also work on their second game and everything to get that up to speed as well. It may be just literally a collaboration thing like that, and that would be a fantastic thing. So Xbox have got a ton of games coming, ladies and gentlemen, everyone. So
oh my god,
worry.
Yeah, it's starting. It's starting. Well, I guess technically it's starting in December, isn't it? But like, it's like it's going to start rolling. Like, you got Age of Empires, you got Forza, you got Halo. And next year we've got Redfall, we've got Starfield. Like we said a couple of years ago when they bought like every fucking studio available, that give it a few years and the games are going to start rolling out.
Yeah,
it's a great time to have Game Pass.
Hell yeah.
And we haven't even seen the big stuff. Fable, still a thing. Oof. What else is Bethesda? I could talk for the entire rest of this podcast about how excited I am about Xbox. But we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to talk about PlayStation. And Fall Guys. Fall Guys has a Guinness World Record for being the most downloaded PlayStation Plus game ever. This is from Wesley Impool over at Eurogamer. He writes, Fall Guys has a Guinness World Record for being the most downloaded PlayStation Plus game ever. It is literally the headline. Developer Mediatonic made the announcement on its website without saying exactly how many PlayStation Plus downloads it has seen. Fall Guys exploded onto the scene last summer, launching on PC and on PlayStation 4 straight into PlayStation Plus. Its clever combination of platforming and battle royale made for fun and addictive arcade gameplay. And 24 hours after release, it had more than 1.5 million players. As of December 2020, Fall Guys had sold more than 11 million copies on PC alone.
Power of PlayStation Plus, because this has happened I think like the second or third time now. Like Rocket League was the same thing as well. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of others, but yeah, Fall Guys, this is fantastic. Fall Guys, I love Fall Guys. I think it's a fantastic game. You and me play it a lot from time to time. We have a lot of fun with it, and yeah, congratulations to Mediatonic and to PlayStation, I guess, even for that. So yeah, well done. I'm really happy to hear this.
It's a fun game to just dip in and out of. Like,
yeah. Definitely. You don't have to worry about being a master at it or anything like that. You can just have fun.
Yeah.
And that's what do you like what you say there, Amy? The concept. Fun in a video game.
Fun in a video game. Never heard of such a thing.
I've never heard of it, no.
But it's cool, like like that. It's broken a world record. That's awesome. Be interested to see like how many copies it's had downloaded.
A Guinness one, that's serious.
That's a proper world record. And when the book comes out, we'll be able to find out how many copies the world record is for.
Maybe you'll have to buy a few pints of Guinness for the stuff.
Oh, they're gonna do a thing. They'll do a Guinness thing in the game.
Oh hell yeah! They'll have a skin of Guinness.
There'll be like a Guinness World Record thing going on in Fall Guys at some point. But yeah, this is cool. Like, good news. Congratulations to Mediatonic and everybody who worked on Fall Guys. And shout out to whoever runs their Twitter account, because I think you can trace at least a decent part of Fall Guys' popularity to that Twitter account. Like when it was around, like it's been great, like it's been spot on like the entire time the game's been around, but especially leading up to release and just after release, like I think it was a really, really, really good part of the success of the game.
Fantastic.
No, I have no segue. Activision Blizzard are now under SEC investigation, according to a Wall Street Journal report. This is from John Carson over at Game Informer. He writes, more than 2 months after the state of California Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard over violations of the state's civil rights and equal pay laws, the Wall Street Journal reports an investigation is underway through the SEC. This federal agency, known as the Securities and Exchange Commission, is looking into the Call of Duty and World of Warcraft publisher and has ordered subpoenas to high-ranking executives. According to an article released from the Wall Street Journal's Kristen Grind and Sarah E. Needleman, the SEC has, quote, launched a wide-ranging investigation into Activision Blizzard Incorporated, including how the video game publishing giant handled employees' allegations of sexual misconduct and workplace discrimination, end quote. The subpoenas mentioned above have been issued to CEO Bobby Kotick and other senior executives at the company. What kind of info does the SEC want from Activision Blizzard execs? From the sounds of Grind and Needleman's reporting, quite a lot. Much of the desired information lies within meeting, documentation, and discussions between the executive team. The SEC has supposedly asked, quote, for minutes from Activision board meetings since 2019, personnel files of 6 former employees, and separation agreements the company has reached this year with staffers, end quote. That's on top of communications between Kotick and his executive team members, quote, regarding complaints of sexual harassment or discrimination by Activision employees or contractors, end quote. According to the report, Activision spokesperson Helene Klasky has stated the company is cooperating with the SEC investigation. If anything, this additional set of eyes on the issues within Activision Blizzard centering on pay disputes and sexual harassment accusations has the power to make some sweeping cultural changes in the company.
Hope fudging so. I hope it does. This is obviously an important topic that we will continue to talk about. Like I think I just think for ourselves. Activision Blizzard are not. I hope this is hurting Bobby Kotick.
It will. I think the SEC getting involved is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a big deal.
Run, you little worm, run. I hope that, like I said, this is just a great thing. That's like I say, we want the, like I say, Activision Blizzard. You have a great legacy, for now, great games and everything. But right now, you are a company who is literally, terrible with sexual harassment, terrible work culture, and literally, like, I think I have to reinstate it all the time, where someone literally decided to take their own life because of how bad the work culture was there, and other things on top of
How
that.
much they were being harassed at work
Yeah.
at Activision Blizzard.
Yeah. Like, you know, more and more and more. Just keep on pushing. Push them into the wall. Push them until their backs are against the wall, and they will literally fold.
They know what they're looking for.
I don't mean fold in a company crumbling or anything like that. I just hopefully, like what it says at the bottom there, was like changes will actually happen, and that's what I'm hoping for here.
Yeah. It sounds like the SEC knows what they're looking for. They've asked for very specific things. Especially they want personnel files of 6 former employees, like specifically 6 specific former employees.
Mm-hmm.
They want all the separation agreements. So like all the agreements of like the people who were let go.
Yeah.
They want all the minutes from board meetings since 2019. They want all the communications between Kotick and the executive team members regarding complaints of sexual harassment and discrimination by Activision employees. They know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I think they know what they're going to find as well. Because that's generally what these places do. They don't go digging for something unless they know what they're going to find.
Yeah.
But fucking get them. That's what I've got to say. That's my take. Fucking get them. It's not been a good couple of months for Activision Blizzard.
Nope.
They're getting sued a lot.
Good.
Which makes their next news story morbidly hilarious. As lawsuits pile up, Blizzard loses its chief legal officer.
He's out of here.
This is from Ash Parrish over at The Verge, who writes, another high-level Activision Blizzard employee left the company. Claire Hart, Blizzard Entertainment's chief legal officer, announced in a LinkedIn post that her last day was Friday, September 17th. Quote, the past 3 years have been full of unexpected twists and turns. But I feel honored to have worked with and met so many great people at Blizzard and across the Activision Blizzard business. End quote. Those unexpected twists and turns might be an allusion to the series of legal troubles Activision Blizzard faces due to allegations of harassment, abuse, and discrimination. To date, Activision Blizzard is facing suits from the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing for enabling a culture of harassment, its own investors for essentially failing to accurately disclose knowledge of these harassment and discrimination problems to investors, the Code CWA for unfair labor practices involving intimidating employees, and Activision Blizzard is under investigation by the EEOC and the SEC all within the last 4 months.
She's like, I'm running out of here as fast as I can.
I'm out of here.
It's like, see her. I wouldn't want to be here. Or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen like through people on LinkedIn who I speak to or see who've worked at Activision or know people who are working at Activision. A lot of them, they're saying a lot of leaving. So like, yeah, a lot of like Activision and Blizzard, like right now, like it's gonna be very interesting. Like it's gonna be very interesting to see how Call of Duty goes out this year. I'm morbidly fascinated to see how the state of the game's gonna come out, because I'm pretty sure like they've just released that they did a beta or something like that, and I'm pretty sure that was
well. Like I've got friends on Twitter who played the beta. And shared their opinions, and they were not positive opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the thing about it. Like I've seen saying all the time, like Activision Blizzard may be one of the biggest companies in the world, but it's the employees who have more power over you than you actually think. You may pay them, yes, but they need to build the game for you. And if they don't build your game, then you are absolutely screwed.
I get what you're saying.
You may be able to replace them, but you won't be able to replace them fast enough.
I get what you're saying about being like this year's Call of Duty, but like if we're talking about morbid curiosity, like my eye is fixed on next year's Call of Duty.
That's fair. That is fair as well. Yeah.
Because I think that would be the more interesting one to look at, because like when all this started breaking, it was like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Like Vanguard had to have been in decent shape by then. I would say, because it's only like a few months away from launch. Whereas like whatever next year's Call of Duty is, it's like right in the middle of development right now. As everybody's leaving.
Call of Duty is 5th, Vanguard is 5th of November 2021.
Yeah.
So it's literally like 6 weeks away.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be interested next season, and also things like Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, stuff like that. Like there's got to have been an impact at this point.
Oh yeah,
You
gotta think it.
I just hope that impact hasn't negatively hurt the developers who are staying to like having to like crunch or whatever.
Well, going how things basically to what we've reported and read about and everything like that, I probably won't be surprised if it has.
Yeah.
I hope it hasn't. It's just because like staff are like, "Yo, I'm done. I want to have a life. I want to be able to create a game and have a life and not get crunched and actually get paid a decent wage." And they've gone off somewhere else and found that. And then they'll be crunching because they'll have to. Well, they don't have to. I feel like they don't have to. It's up to them at the end of the day. Or the culture at Activision, I mean,
yeah,
as well, what's that in it. And then you've got, so they'll need to replace those staff in to get them in to help alleviate the pressure.
where are they
So
getting the
it's
staff from? Oh shit, everybody's leaving.
And nobody wants to go to you.
I allegedly, I guess. I don't know. Most of the people I know are former Blizzard employees, not current. So.
At the end of the day, we know Call of Duty is going to sell well. There's no doubt about that.
Oh God, yeah, like
well. But it's gonna be interesting the impact of what, like you said, of for next year's game, because like we've seen it before. Ubisoft threw out Assassin's Creed Unity. It was a broken mess. It arguably damaged the reputation of Assassin's Creed.
It hit Syndicate, which
was a
good game.
Yeah, it was actually a really good game, and it completely got crapped on. Not by people who bought it. Like not crapped on. I mean, it didn't sell well.
It got ignored by people who were like, "Oh, I played Unity last year and it was fucked, so I'm not going to pick up Syndicate."
Yeah,
Syndicate was a good game. I'm sorry, like I played. I know we're talking about Ubisoft game in a positive light, but like I played Syndicate and Fallout 4 at the same time, and I remember being really excited for Fallout 4. I was playing Syndicate and Fallout 4 launched, and I switched to Fallout 4, and I played Fallout 4 for like 5 or 6 hours, and I went, actually, I just feel like going back to Syndicate. Because Fallout 4 is not very good, sorry. But yeah, like Call of Duty will sell well this year, and it will sell well next year. Like even if Vanguard is a
broken mess
stumble, let's say it's stumble.
Yeah,
we've seen it before. There's been Call of Duty games that haven't been well regarded, but it doesn't impact the game next year. But if there's 2 bad Call of Duty games in a row, that's a whole other ball game. And like, I just hope, honestly, thinking about like staff levels and crunch and whatnot, like honestly, like I hope they don't release a Call of Duty next year.
They
will, but like if they could just release the pressure valve so that the people who are working it, whichever developer's making the next Call of Duty, don't have to crunch, that would be swell. But they won't do that.
They won't.
They didn't arguably need to release one this year because Warzone's a thing. But hey ho, what do I do?
Hey ho.
What do I know?
We know nothing, Kimmy.
We know nothing. Like I want to preface this by saying we know very little, like about things.
But Amy, do you want to know something I do know?
What's that?
It's been 61 days since 1,000 current and former Ubisoft employees signed an open letter to management. They are still yet to receive any response to their key demands.
These are the tweets from a better Ubisoft on Twitter. The group that Mooney just mentioned, they tweet every single day. One reason from one former or current Ubisoft employee that they were given for why they signed the letter Mooney just mentioned, and I'm going to read all the ones from this past week, because as you know, if you watch this podcast or listen to it, we do this every week. Number 1, I made a formal complaint about multiple managers who colluded in the same abuse. Only one was investigated, and he was allowed to quietly step down, reputation intact. Number 2, as an answer to a report for harassment, HR organised a team-building day with both the harasser and the victim, as it was seen as an interpersonal issue. Number 3, I joined a year ago in the middle of all the scandals. Since then, I've been hearing the same message from management. We're working on it. We're hiring people to solve things. Change takes time. There are external audits in progress. But I've seen no tangible action taken since, and we need real action to happen. Number 4, no concrete action had been implemented after my colleagues and I went through the misconduct process. Our managers were supposed to receive training. They didn't. They didn't even apologize. Ubisoft simply doesn't care. Number 5. Lost count. I'm sick of hearing that we have to rebuild trust. I don't want or need to trust. What I want is accountability and meaningful action. I want to be heard, and I want a collective seat at the table. Number 6. I've seen endless, earnest speeches, polished presentations, and fine promises of change to come, but precious little accountability. And number 7. During the course of the pandemic, I was living alone, suffered through a bad breakup, missed 2 weddings and 4... We read this one last week. 2 weddings and 4 funerals. Yeah, I'll read it. Fuck it, I'll finish it. Who cares? During the course of the pandemic, I was living alone, suffered through a bad breakup, missed 2 weddings and 4 funerals. I developed depression and asked for help from my manager. A day later, I was put essentially on probation into the personal improvement program and was told to go outside more and that my condition isn't helping the team. Go outside more. God, I wish someone had told me that when I was deep in my depression. Just go outside more. Oh shit! I just cured it. Fucking hell.
I wanted to go outside, but we were in 3 lockdowns.
We were allowed to go outside.
For an hour.
And then they released the hounds on you. Because everybody stuck to that rule. Release the hounds. Honestly, feels like we've got Mr. Burns as a fucking Prime Minister. Any minute now, Boris Johnson's going to hold a press conference declaring he's going to block out the sun.
I'll put a dome over us. Oh,
that was Under the Dome. That was Stephen King. Oh, that was the movie.
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot about the Simpsons movie. That was the EPA. That was a good movie. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Wow, we got plenty of time. Quantic Dream wins 1 libel case, loses another. This is a report from Marie de Lissandre over at GamesIndustry.biz, who writes, a verdict has been reached in the libel trial opposing Quantic Dream and French publications Le Monde and Mediapart. According to reports from Game Workers Union Solidaire Informatique and STJV, Mediapart was cleared of all accusations, while Le Monde was found guilty of libel. The verdict was given last week on September 9th, but none of the parties involved commented on this outcome. GamesIndustry.biz reached out to Quantic Dream for comment. Both publications were sued because of 2018's reports of toxic workplace culture at Heavy Rain developer, which Quantic Dream denied, as well as allegations of financial malpractice. The trial took place on May 27th and 29th, leading to conflicting reports from the parties involved. GamesIndustry.biz later was able to verify some of what transpired during the 2 days. Excuse me. Former employees allegedly targeted by degrading images sued Quantic Dream following the publication of these reports. The studio was ordered to pay a former employee €7,000 over an offensive photoshopped image back in 2019, while the court recently overturned a ruling from July 2018 concerning another employee. The Court of Appeals ultimately ruled that none of the photoshopped images involving this specific plaintiff were degrading, homophobic, or racist. Wow, that's a hell of a qualifier. It's like none of the photoshopped images involving this one person were homophobic or racist, but the other ones. Quantic Dream declined to comment. And then there's another update. The STJV clarified that it's specifically Quantic Dream's founders, Guillaume Dufondemire and David Cage, who won against Le Monde and not Quantic Dream as a company. The libel charge was successful because Le Monde reportedly refused to expose their sources, the STJV added. These elements were also mentioned in Solidaires Informatique's report. It's funny, man. I was trying to like copy paste like the rumor that like Quantic Dream was making a Star Wars game into the document, and like my finger slipped and I accidentally put this in here instead. Weird how that works.
Yeah, weird how
weird,
that works.
Right?
I know you ain't. No, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what to say when it comes to this. Like, yo, Quantic Dream, you've got terrible work practices. You're apparently got toxic work culture. Get your shit together. Oh, David Cage and the other guy, founder.
Guillaume Dufondemire. We've been doing this story since Keith was a course on this podcast. I learned how to say a lot of French things.
That wasn't allegedly, ladies and gentlemen. Keith was a part of this podcast long ago.
Yep.
No, yeah, like those two people apparently aren't the greatest people like to work with and everything. So it's like,
I remember some of the things that came out. They'd Photoshop like, so like they would do the Photoshop stuff was a big one. Like I remember like, and I'm gonna say allegedly at the beginning of this sentence because obviously I'm working from memory of a story I read 3 years ago. But like the Photoshop stuff was like they would Photoshop people like who worked at the studio with like Nazi stuff, or there was some stuff where they Photoshopped like Elliot Page, like in some really disgusting ways, and then there's the general thing that we've heard so many times about like just a generally toxic workplace, but yeah, it wasn't great reading. And I just want to like hammer home on the update at the end where it's like, well, they won a case of libel. They specifically won a case against Le Monde, and this is the two guys. This is Cage and Dufondemire, not Quantic Dream. They specifically won the libel case because Le Monde wouldn't tell them who their anonymous sources were. Which, that's what a good journalistic outlet does. Like, you don't burn your sources.
Yeah.
So like, they didn't really win. Like, the chances are it was probably still fucking true. Like, it's just they couldn't reveal who their source was.
Yeah. This is the thing about it, what it is. Like, I've really enjoyed Quantic Dream's games of late. Like, I enjoyed the Detroit Become Human. It was one of my favorite games when it came out that year, and I really enjoyed Heavy Rain. I wasn't too sure with the one in the middle with Elliot Page. It just didn't work for me. I think it's because the story was all over the place. It wasn't coherent or anything like that. But going back to this, it's just like, like, come on, Quantic Dream. Like, seriously, do I have to label you like Activision, Blizzard, and Ubisoft and everything? I guess I have to. There we go. That's quite and simple. You are now labeled with them. Get your shit together. I want to support your games. I want to say nice things about your games. But yeah, you're going to make it incredibly difficult for me to do that if you've got a terrible people in your team and just a terrible toxic work culture. Like, nope, I will not go.
And you're fighting to defend it.
Yep.
You're actually doing a worse job than Activision Blizzard, who are at least saying they're going to do better. I mean, the quality of their games is separate from this entirely. Like,
yeah.
I have no affiliations with their games. I don't like them that much. So like, I'm not really bothered about their games, to be honest.
Yeah. That's fair.
I played the first one, Indigo Prophecy. That was wild. That was a wild game. It's interesting. Very offensive in parts. But entertaining. In a way of like, you know, you watch a shit film to be entertained because it's funny.
Yeah.
Kind of entertaining. But like, yeah, it's just like
I don't know, explicit the
we'll see where this goes.
3 minutes gone, isn't it? So
I know, like that almost sounds like a threat, right? It's like now we can release our games everywhere. It's like the Joker threatening to release toxic gas on Gotham City.
Didn't the Joker do that?
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the headline, "Quantic Dream might be making a Star Wars game," it sounded like a threat. Next, Jennifer Scheurle steps down as IGDA group chair amid abuse allegations. This is from Marie DeLisandro over at GamesIndustry.biz, who writes, chair of the IGDA Women in Game Special Interest Group, Jennifer Scheurle, has stepped down from her position following accusations of manipulation and emotional abuse. The accusations were brought to the attention of the IGDA from 2018 via multiple informal complaints, and then again in 2019 and 2020 via formal complaints, with the victims saying they had 120 pages of statements and evidence supporting their claim. These allegations resurfaced on social media last week, with Scheurle named directly by those making the allegations. Excuse me a sec. I just need a cough. Thank you. The IGDA issued a statement prior to Scheurle's resignation, confirming that an investigation had been conducted, but saying that there was, quote, no compelling evidence of wrongdoing. It is, end quote. Here's their statement. Quote, it has come to our attention that there has been public concern about the IGDA's internal investigation process. The IGDA investigates all complaints in compliance with our IGDA policy for responding to harassment complaints. Part of this process requires anonymity to protect both the person who issued the complaint and the accused, but given the public nature of these allegations, we will confirm a complaint was received and a formal investigation was launched. After thorough investigation, the submitter of the complaint was informed there was not compelling evidence of wrongdoing. They were also invited to submit additional materials in the future to have the investigation reopened, end quote. The IGDA added that in this case, the decision was unanimous, adding that it has, quote, a zero-tolerance policy towards all forms of harassment and violence, end quote. Scheurle issued her own statement saying she will step down from her chair role immediately, as well as asking for a nomination for a Gamehers Award to be retracted. Quote, I've always tried to embody the value of believing victims, and this does not change with the accused being myself. Many people I love are hurting, and I wish to not bring any more harm to any of you. I'm sorry for any harm I have caused, both past and present, end quote. She added that she would cancel any upcoming speaking and writing gigs, as well as advocacy work for the time being. Scheurle was also named among the Game Awards' inaugural Future class, with one of the organisers removing her from the initiative as a reaction to the allegations. And then there's a long... I'm just going to summarise. There's a long update. Scheurle is currently a lead game designer at Blackbird Interactive, the developers of Hard Space Shipbreaker, and they released a long statement saying that they are investigating whether any misconduct has occurred at the studio, essentially. The full statement is up on Twitter. You can go and read it.
So if I've listened to what you said properly there, so she gets cleared, but she steps down and then apologizes.
Well, she got cleared sometime in the past. This is the point of... I mean... The harassment is bad, and I don't want to say. I don't want what I'm about to say. I feel like I'm diminishing the fact that somebody suffered, multiple people have suffered harassment and abuse.
Yeah.
But the point I really want to hammer home on is the IGDA received complaints in 2018, 2019, and 2020. Those complaints were made public on Twitter when all of this started coming out last week.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. There was an investigation. They didn't have enough compelling evidence, despite the fact that they had 120 pages of statements and evidence to support the claim, which was released on Twitter, by not the IGDA.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's so they found they said there was no evidence, but there is evidence. Yet she gets cleared. She steps down anyway and then apologizes. So you did something wrong. You basically, for me, when you apologize, you've done something wrong.
Yeah, or unless you're
admitting to doing something wrong and everything. So
unless you're the CEO of a big game developer, in which case you don't apologize when you've done something wrong. You just make it sound like you've apologized. But yeah, it's a very strange turn of events. Obviously, I've followed Jennifer on Twitter for years. So this was weird. This was a big shock when it came up. But obviously, I believe and stand with the victims who were speaking out.
Yeah.
Like, it's always incredibly brave to do this kind of thing. But I don't get how the IGDA could have so much evidence yet say there is no evidence. From
That's what I'm saying.
multiple consecutive years, like this happened 3 times. 2018, 2019, and 2020. And like they just washed their hands of it because, well, they probably figured it wasn't going to go public, allegedly.
Everything goes public.
Well, the original story by the first person that kicked this off was told last year. The person who did this put it out on Twitter last year, but didn't name the person they were talking about, and it was only last week that they quote tweeted that original thread and said the person I'm talking about is Jennifer Scheurle.
Oh yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah. Damn.
So like this was like in terms of the person who kicked this off, this was last year.
Yeah.
And that could have the event could have even happened before that. It's just last year when they talked about it.
I don't get heads of groups or CEOs or anything like that. If you got cleared, yet you step down and then you apologize. It's like, wait, what? Just breaks my brain.
I think the IGDA fucked up.
Let's say this is it. Just don't be a douche. Let's just say that. Just don't be a douche.
Yeah, accusations of manipulation and emotional abuse. Again, I read a lot of. You know what I mean, Moody. I can't help myself. I have to read these. Things. Like, and like, it's not great to read. Like the stories, of what was done to these people. And I just don't. I like getting past my issues with the IGDA part of this story and just talking about this in general. I just don't I've never been able to understand how people can do stuff like this.
Bullies. Like I say all the time, I've said it all the time, bullying is a cancer. It's a disgusting thing that people get away with every single day, and it needs to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Again, my full support and sympathies for anyone who's gone through this. Can I read you the greatest headline of a news story of 2021?
Go for it.
Titanfall developer Respawn calls out Titanfall developer Respawn over Titanfall development possibilities. This is from Imran Khan over at Fanbyte, because of course it is. Who writes, and this is an amazing article, by the way. Like, normally I take out the personal commentary of articles. I didn't do this. I didn't do that here. God, Titanfall 2 was such a good game. It's almost criminal how much the 2016 first-person shooter, the first in the series to have a single-player narrative campaign, was overlooked by audience. It makes sense that developer Respawn would shake things up with Apex Legends and Jedi Fallen Order, considering, but fans have been long hopeful that another actual Titanfall game would eventually find its way between the biggest successes in Respawn's portfolio. Quote, "There's nothing there," Respawn community coordinator James Garza said on a live stream reported on by Dexerto. "We've got too many other games in the works right now," end quote. You can actually see Garza say this as a direct response to being asked about Titanfall 3. The news is disappointing but not surprising. Apex Legends is massively successful, a Jedi Fallen Order sequel is in the works, and the internet's Jeff Grubb reports that there's a third game being worked on at Respawn that isn't Titanfall. Resources are finite. Where it gets weird is that Respawn publicly denounced the suggestion that Titanfall 3 isn't happening. Quote, "Contrary to what some folks are reporting, Titanfall is the very core of our DNA. Who knows what the future holds," end quote. Which, sure, it makes sense to reiterate that the franchise isn't dead. There could be a new Titanfall game in the future. The line, "contrary to what some folks are reporting," is real damn confusing, though, because the reporting came from Respawn. It's a direct quote from the person whose job it is to supply direct quotes as official communique from the company.
Yo.
It's funny.
I am rooting for you if there's a Titanfall 3. Anyway.
Like, okay, so like my actual response to the Titanfall 3 like thing is like I just wish they'd shut the fuck up about it. Like I wish Respawn would stop fucking bringing it up because I know it's not happening anytime soon, and I've made peace with that. I am fine with that. So like when fucking Jason Garza comes out and goes, "No, sorry, we're not working on Titanfall 3." I'm like, that's exactly what I expected to hear. It's the part where Respawn turns around and goes, "Contrary to what people are saying on the internet, you said that. You said that." Contrary to what we just said. Oh, you never. Who knows what the future holds? You do. I'm gesturing at the camera that's turned off. You do, Respawn.
So wait, Jeff Grubb reports that there's a third game being, and it's not Respawn. It isn't a Titanfall. Maybe they're saying counteracting towards what Jeff Grubb said.
What they're trying to do is there's a third game in development at Respawn, which is reportedly not Titanfall. So it's Apex, it's Jedi, and it's I don't know. Let's just call it fucking Operation Beanbag. And like that's all fine. But then Respawn's like, who knows what the future holds? You know what the future holds. You just told us.
So you think they're taking the piss out of you?
I think what they're doing is they're just trying to string along people who are Titanfall fans to like say like, oh, you know, who knows what the future holds? Like, there's that hope that they could be making Titanfall 3. They're not making Titanfall 3, and I wish they'd shut the fuck up about it. Jason Garza coming out and saying, no, we're not working on it, which I'm pretty sure Vince Zampella said the same thing last year, where it's like, no, we're not working on Titanfall 3 right now. It's like, it's common knowledge that you aren't making it. So, like, stop dangling the carrot in front of me, because I know the carrot is made of shit. Like, I'm getting annoyed by this now. Because I know it's not, I know it doesn't exist.
Well, I'm rooting that it is existing for you, Amy, because I know you love Titanfall 2.
Look,
you keep adore that game, and I hope they do a number 3 in the future and release it in a good time and not put it in between their own game, EA's own game, and Call of Duty.
I'll play the long game with this Titanfall thing. That's what I did with Alan Wake. That's what I've done with Vampire. Like, I can play the long game waiting for a sequel. I'm totally fine with that.
Maybe it's time for a Titanfall 2 retrospective, Amy.
Wouldn't take very long. Ooh. No, I can't. It's fucked up at the minute. I can't play a Titanfall 2. I mean, the game itself. We talked about it not that long ago.
Yeah.
I kind of want to skip the next 2. Because, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not really that bothered. Like, I don't know. I feel like I thought it was a slow news week, and I'm realizing it wasn't. So I just put some interesting stories in, like, ooh, you can run Stadia on Xbox, which is kind of funny. But
you could probably skip all of them.
Sure, yeah, but you always say that because you don't want to be here. You don't want to do. You're just like, oh, you could just skip all the news stories, and we could just chat about nonsense for 2 hours.
Well, I've got games that are coming out this week to talk about.
You've got a lot of games that are coming out this week to talk about.
Added one.
Jesus. All right, we'll just do one more. Deathloop's Colt Vahn is being sent a PlayStation 5 by Microsoft so he can play the game that he stars in. This is from George Foster over at The Gamer. Everything about this story is hilarious. The actor behind Deathloop's Colt Vahn, Jason Kelly, has finally managed to get a PS5 in order to play the game he starred in, and it's all thanks to Microsoft. That's quite the loop. When celebrating Deathloop's launch earlier in the month, Jason Kelly took to Twitter to talk about his experience with the game and his difficulty in finding a way to play it. Quote, I cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on this video game. If anybody can get me a copy on a PlayStation 5, I would appreciate it, end quote. Bethesda's Pete Hines then commented underneath the video offering to secure a PS5 for Kelly. He said, quote, hey, Jason Kelly, I can probably help find you a PS5 so you can play it. You deserve a chance to play as Colt and enjoy your own amazing performance, end quote. He's not wrong. Now, thanks to an interview with Jump Cut Player, we know that Jason Kelly actually was sent a PS5 by Microsoft and has been able to start playing his own game. Quote, I haven't played the game yet. I don't have a PS5 yet. I'm breaking an exclusive with you. I made an announcement. I was doing a bit and said that I didn't have one, and it turns out I was just notified by Bethesda that a PS5 was made available and is going to be shipped to me with the game as well. So I'll be playing the game. I'm super excited, end quote.
This is the funniest thing.
This is just so funny. Every part of it.
Microsoft are buying an opposing company console for someone else to buy so they can play their own studio's game, not on their
Which
console.
is a PlayStation exclusive. It's just like, there's layers. There's so many layers to this story.
But I love it even more is that Microsoft is like, we don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah, they're just like, yo. So Microsoft, I can't get a PlayStation 5, so how about you hook me up?
Yeah. Rudy really wants to play Deathloop. It's one of your biggest games of the year, even though it's not on Xbox.
Pete Hines, how about you hook me up, eh? Hook me up. Hook a brother up.
I've actually fallen over. Like, I'm already struggling, and you know this from like private conversations. I'm already struggling with not laughing just constantly at the fact that one of Microsoft's biggest games is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. And then you throw this in where it's like they bought the guy a PlayStation.
Dumb shit like this just makes you just say, yo, the world ain't so bad after all. Video games. The industry ain't so bad after all, ladies and gentlemen and everyone. It really isn't.
Oh, I wish I had my camera. Jason Kelly's our Deathloop review will be out tomorrow. Jason Kelly does a fantastic job as Colt Vahn. Like, I think I called it out in the review.
You do.
It's just a genuinely amazing performance. So I'm really happy he got a PS5 so he can play the game that he started. Moody's going to do games out this week, and I'm going to try and laugh this out while I go pee. So I'm just fucking losing it.
Games out next week, everybody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games. What the fuck, Amy? Oh, good God. Okay, starting. Here we go. Away, the Survival Series. PC and PlayStation and plays the tiny sugar glider in your very own nature documentary. Glide among the trees, fight dangerous predators, and explore beautiful environments as you embark on a high-flying journey to save your family. In Soundbind, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. In Soundbind, it is an imaginative let me try that again. Is an imaginative first-person psychological horror with a frenetic puzzles, unique boss fights, and an original music by The Living Tombstone. Journey within the inner works of one place you can't seem to escape, your own mind. I don't think I want to play this game. New World PC explore a thrilling open world MMO filled with danger and an opportunity where you'll forge a new destiny on the supernatural island of Mataritsu or whatever.
Sorry.
Lemmy.
Sorry. Eternum.
Thank you. Lemnis Gate, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and the Xbox Game Pass is a revolutionary turn-based combat strategy FPS. That's a mouthful and a half. Taking place in a time loop. There's a lot of time loop games this year.
I said this right in our Deathloop review. Like, there's so many time loop games this year.
Yes, there is. Master the unique ability of powerful deep space operatives and complete the in-mind-bending four-dimensional battles. Steal, assault, PC, switch, punch, whip, and zipline your way through a post-apocalyptic America in this 16-bit retro-style action platformer. Play as Taro Tanahashi, a resistance soldier on a revenge mission against the dictator who lords over the ashes. So Donald Trump. There we go. A Juggler Tale, former Donald Trump. Juggler's Tale, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Lead Abby, the string puppet, through a busy busied but beautiful fairy-tale world in this cinematic adventure. Solve riddles, evade traps, and shake off pursuers on the way to find freedom. Can Abby take control of her own fate with all the strings attached? DARP PC. DARP is a horror action adventure about gathering and protecting a pack of fragile creatures called DARPs. Lead your DARPs to safety through an beautiful world, fighting off threats, solving puzzles, and avoiding the infection that twists your companions into something alien and terrifying. Astrid Ascending. PC, PlayStation, Xbox Game Pass, and Switch explore a vast world on the brink of chaos in a mature and emotional JRPG experience and an epic story with rewarding turn-based combat and expansive customization, rendering in glorious 4K hand-drawn visuals. Imposter Factory, PC. A bonkers timeless time. Again. Tragic comedy murder mystery thriller featuring multiple casualties and a suspicious cat from the creators of To the Moon and Finding Paradise. Bonfire Perks, PC, PlayStation, and Switch. Set your belongings on fire on a beautiful Vlox art puzzle island. Rogue Lords, PC, a dark fantasy roguelike where you play as a devil, lead famous evil geniuses through events and turn-based fights to spread terror and corruption, create battles between your disciples, use your evil powers to take revenge on those miserable demon hunters. Industria, PC. Industria is a first-person shooter that takes you from East Berlin into a parallel reality shortly before the end of the Cold War on the search of a missing work colleague. You decipher a dark past in a mysterious parallel dimension. Hot Wheels Unleashed, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Collect the best vehicles in Hot Wheels universe, build spectacular tracks, and drive into breathtaking races. The Last Friend, PC, Switch. Doggen, tired of the traditional brawler or tower defense that is all bark and no bite. Then join Alpha and T, Urine, on a dynamic adventure that has you battling hordes of baddies and bosses on their mission to save all the doggers. Unsighted, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Explore your way awoken in a world ruined by war. Alama must traverse the vast city of Arcane before the life force of her friends and herself weavers away. Time is tricky, and every moment matters. Who will you save and who will you leave to turn unsighted? And lastly, Life is Strange, Wavelengths, PC, PlayStation, and the Xbox step into Steph's booth as the all-new radio show hosts for KRCT, Haven's best and only radio station. Over 4 seasons, discover more about Steph's past, her relationships as she makes her mark on the record store, uncover its secrets, and decide her future. We already decided her future in the Life is Strange.
I was going to say, like, yeah, we've already done that. Sorry.
We already found her future, and it's a sexy ass future for her. But either way,
well, we found different futures, but we've got a whole spoiler review out for where we talk about that. This week, really, like, I counted 6, like including Wavelengths. I counted 6 that I was like, oh yeah, I want to play that. Oh yeah, I want to play that too. Oh yeah, I want to play that too. I'm like 10 hours into Tales of Arise, and I've got Lost Judgment sitting on my desk. It's like, what the fuck am I going to do? I've got games that I haven't played yet. I haven't touched Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Like, oh, fuck. Fuck September. Seriously. like putting this list together for you, like copy pasting all of the stuff. It's like, oh yeah, Inside Mind. I'm gonna stream that as we've talked about. Like, oh, Juggler's Tale. I played the demo for that last year. It's really good. DAP. I watched my friend Luna, twitch.tv/Luna Mothering. She streamed a demo of it a couple of months ago. It looks great. Astria's Ascending. It's another JRPG in game, but it's in Game Pass. Imposter Factory. To the Moon's one of my favorite games. Like, oh god. 2021, can you just chill for a minute? Let me catch up. Fucking hell. Please stop. I'm already dead. Should we do OpenCritic head-to-head?
Why not?
It's time for OpenCritic head-to-head. This is the game myself and Mooney play every single week, where we try to guess the upcoming OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. I definitely didn't say that right. Whoever gets closest to the score gets 1 point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Kena Bridge of Spirits. I guessed it would get an 87. Moody guessed it would get an 88. And at the time of recording, Kena Bridge of Spirits has an OpenCritic average of 81, which puts the current scores at Amy 18, Moody 16, Keith 10, Foxes 6, with 2 draws. Next week's going to be a fun one, because we made a guess ages ago for In Sound Mind, and then it got delayed. And it's been in this little document the entire time. And then the game comes out on Tuesday. So we'll have review scores for that. Just as a refresher, I guessed it would get 77, Moody guessed it would get 69, Fox's guessed it would get 78.
I think you should, no offense, I don't mean this as a bad way, we should take Fox's score off. He's not here anymore.
It's fine. He got games, he got points. Sean has, because he wasn't in very many episodes. So his score is not a slight on him, and he guessed some games right.
No, I mean his guess in Sound Mind.
He might get another point.
Well, it's just a waste of time. Okay, whatever.
Don't tell me how to do my business. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I need to make it more efficient. That's what I'm trying to.
You're not trying to make it more efficient. You realize, right? What you're actually arguing for is like if the score goes over, what is it? If the score goes over 70, if the 78 are over, and I take Fox's name off, I'm gonna get the point.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
but
all
right.
I don't care. Fox has made a guess, and if he gets it right, he gets the point. I can't go back and erase him from past podcasts. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. Then the podcast would be really weird. So we've got that one. But we're also guessing this week Lemnis Gate. I picked one. There wasn't really like one standout game. So I picked a game that was on the list.
Yeah. I'm trying to think here. I have not got a clue.
Let's have a look at the description again.
I'm like looking at the game and I'm just like,
okay, yeah, it's like it's not quite like anything that there's been before. That's why I picked it. Lemnis Gate is the revolutionary turn-based combat strategy first-person shooter taking place in a time loop. Like, I figured if I was gonna pick one of these games, I'd pick the one that doesn't really have much precedent.
70.
70. Not going with 69. Or is that just me that does that?
I've already done it with Sound Mind, so I'm alright.
Imagine if you picked 69 twice and both of them got 69. 69. You got 4 points. Rocketed into the lead. I don't think I'd be able to keep a straight face for like any of OpenCritic head-to-head next week. I think I'd just lose it completely. 75. Why not? With no thought put into this whatsoever, I'm going to guess a 75. I tend to find if I put too much thought into it, that's when I fuck it up. I overthink myself.
You overthink, Amy. You overthink.
All the time. Every second of every day. Like, I'm amazed I can be as coherent as I am for 2 hours a week to do this podcast. Because you've had conversations with me, Moody. I'm not normally this coherent when I'm talking.
Yep.
For most people, a conversation is a straight line between A and B. But with me, there's like it's like a map in Tales of Arise. There's like a side paths that you can that will explore, and then there's like the bit that loops back around but goes above, and then you start off, but then you jump down and you're back where you started, but then you go and then you turn right, and it's like that's what talking to me about anything is. And
Yep.
I try not to like be like that, but
That's true.
that's just me.
That is just you, Amy. It is you indeed. But I wouldn't take it any other way.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. I'm not bad.
I mean, you're all right. I think I've said this once or twice on like podcasts and Twitter and whatnot, but yeah, you're okay.
Yeah. I'm not bad. I know.
Yeah. I mean, best podcast co-host I ever had. Is that fair to say? I don't think that's fair to say because everybody else who's been on the podcast might get mad at me. Oh, that's nice. So has it been weird not being able to see me this entire time?
A little bit, I won't lie.
I'll be fixed next week.
I hope so.
No, I will. I'm gonna literally. I'm walking to a physical shop to buy the thing I need. I'm not ordering it. I'm not taking the chance on like something going wrong. I'm walking in and I'm going to put my hand on the product.
You are mine.
And I'm going to carry it home with me. That's what's happening.
That's true.
Because I like this has been weird for me. I feel like I'm on the radio. Like I feel like I'm a radio host right now. It's weird. I don't like it. I've been
Welcome to Radio 96.
I've been like making my like hand gestures and like talking to the camera, but it's like you can't see me.
Yeah. You're like, why am I doing this?
It's like, why am I even moving?
Yeah.
I could be lying down right now. Why aren't I lying in bed?
You could be. You could just put it like on a pad and just put your mic next to your mouth. You'd be fine.
Yeah. I probably would have fallen asleep. You probably wouldn't know.
You probably would have. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But no, it'll all be fixed. It'll all be fixed by the time I re-record the next set of reviews. So, and you'll get to see what I've done with the place. Moody's already seen it.
I have.
In fact, actually, you can see if I could, I'll show you the background. I'll take my headphones off for this part. Kick my computer. Everything's fine. Everything seems fine now. You can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because OBS is running. I should have known that. Oh, well, that was disappointing.
Yep.
Oh well. You'll see it next week.
See you next week. Do you want me to finish off with a nice scene?
I was just about to say, close us out, Moody.
Close us out, indeed. Everyone has highs and lows that they learn from. But every morning I start off the day with let me try that again. Let me try that again, okay?
Yeah.
Let's start that again.
Of course you can.
Everyone has highs and lows that they have to learn from. But every morning I start off with a good head on my shoulders saying to myself, it'll be a good day. And it's going to be a great week for all of you next week. Be awesome.
Is that it?
Yes.
I was replying to Katie Bence on Twitter. Sorry. Katie Bence tweeted me. No big deal.
Gabe tweeted me.
Steph tweeted me.
I prefer Gabe than Steph anyway. So
Oh, I'm sure you do, yeah.
I
I love you both. Han Solo, isn't it? Who you play, Gabe? And Katie Vance, you're both awesome. Should we get out of here? We should get out of here. I've got Tales
Let's
of
get
I want
out
to
of
play more
here.
Tales of Arise. Say bye, Moody. I'm waving. Bye.
Bye.
Look, I'll try and do it right in front of the microphone so you can hear the air resistance. Hold on. Nope.
Can't
I just
hear
knocked the
anything.
microphone over.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.